second. Make sure it's loading, because I don't know how sensitive it is. Hello everyone, this is Christiana.
And Giovanni Minio.
Welcome back to another episode of Chuckle FUX, Go to War. So we are, again, kind of in the early stages of reviving this, so I'm briefly checking to make sure everything is running. But we plan to be talking about movies and insane dancing experiences and all kinds of silliness. I'm personally making sure that everything is just running according to plan right now. Gio, if you would like to start with your discussion of the penguins.
Oh, of course. So, this subject had entered my mind as a number of clips from the movie had been showing up in my TikTok feed. That being the both movies actually is Happy Feet 1 and 2, and they're old movies now. I hadn't watched them since I was since I was a child rather, and with it coming back into my mind in recent time, like, I remember as a child, I had a weirdly cynical opinion on the movie.
Oh, seriously?
I have a vague recollection as to why. Like, I remember the fact I remember something about like it being a jukebox musical and the movie not really having a point. Like, it was sort of. So it was sort of playing it fast and loose with what its message was and what what the overall theme was. So my general take was, like, as a child, I should emphasize, I was a child who was looking at this movie and thinking, this is just to make money. This is not a story. This is just a product.
Wait, you thought that as a child, or you didn't?
I thought that as a child.
Oh, God.
That was my take as a child, was that this is just a cash grab. But looking back at it, my opinion has taken a complete left turn. It has changed entirely. Like, I'm remembering more and more about both movies and realizing how weirdly creative and artful they are.
Okay,
Which is odd to say. It's they are, of course, they are animated children's movies. That should not be disregarded. But like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's far too much thought and time was put into the bizarre penguin world building for these movies. That you have penguin religion and like the complex relationships between the different animals in Antarctica.
I see what you mean, yeah. I think the religion isn't... I think it's all a lot of interesting decisions, for sure. But you don't think they work? I mean, I also haven't watched it in... I have to say 10 years. I only watched the second one when it first came out, and I've only seen clips here and there.
I think it... Like, my opinion has changed entirely. I think it works really well. I think it is... It is an undersung, like, artful, like, masterwork.
Oh, seriously? Okay.
I think it is a lot better than it gets credit for. That is my present day opinion. I have changed my tone on it.
Okay. Is the tap dancing... Is any of it accurate, I guess to say? I mean, I'm assuming penguins, or they sing. That's what the societal That's what the
Yeah.
correct thing for them to do is, and he's weird for wanting to tap dance. Do penguins sing, Geo?
I don't believe so. I think this was an invention for the movie,
I see.
but it works. I think it suits it suits the aesthetic. It suits the vibe.
Well, yeah, the whole thing is already kind of like whimsical and strange, right?
Especially with like the like I haven't seen this scene in ages. It's just resonating in my mind. Is like where they have the I think it's like the night scene where they're wandering through the snow and there's the northern lights. Like maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know, but um, it's it's eh, I'm running out of words. Um, and another thing is that it, it's stylized in a way that um, that the animals are able to just be animals rather than necessarily being like heavily anthropomorphized, which is not to necessarily admonish um, anthropomorphization in animated media or whatever. But
Well, it's heavily relied on. I think it was kind of a bold choice to maybe not super bold. Also, I have a picture up now of a bunch of penguins standing on top of a seal. I happen to very much enjoy it, but I'm leaving that there just as part of the yes. I think that a lot of movies, what do you call it, are afraid of having just silent animal characters because they think kids will get bored. I think it's a cool idea to just have a movie where the animals are just animals and nothing else. I think they were trying to do that with one of the CGI dinosaur movies from like 2013, and then they were like, no, like make them talk, like last minute decisions. I mean, you know.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
What do you call that? I know that new movie came out, which was it was like the robot one. You know what I mean? I didn't see it myself.
Yeah, where the robot is like saving all the animals.
Yeah, I think it's the Wild Robot, and it seems like a good movie. And it's not a bad thing that the animals talk, but it could have been interesting if it's just the robot talking. You know, I think it's another one of those situations where it's like, you know, it doesn't make the movie bad. You just kind of want to know what it would have looked like without that.
It's something that we sort of like going back to like the designs, like the choice for these designs to be for the character designs to more or less just be the animals themselves. That is a penguin. This character is a penguin.
Yeah.
They're not like I when I was thinking about this at work today, like my mind kept bouncing back and forth between like wanting to compare this to Madagascar as the counterexample,
Okay, yeah.
where where the designs are also very stylized, but they're also like these are just animals. Well, they're not animals. They're anthropomorphized. They're walking on 2 feet. They got hands. They got a face on.
They got the fudge. Oh, they're handsome.
They're handsome.
But like, yeah, like they're using tools and stuff too, you know?
Like these are people, but then like for Happy Feet, it really doubles down on the penguins are people, yes, but they're living penguin society. They don't think the same way we do. They don't act the same way we do necessarily. They're doing their own thing, and they have their own perceptions of the world around them.
Yeah.
And something that we take for granted now because like animation has gone so far is they're also very well designed. They're very well animated. It looks like an actual animal.
In Happy Feet?
In Happy Feet, yeah.
But they did also give the female penguins breasts.
That was another thing I was gonna bring up.
Oh, my bad.
That is one of the stylization choices, and I'm not going to downplay that. They did in fact give the lady penguin breasts.
That was a choice they made. But like, for why? And they're like, it's not just like, oh, they happen to have breasts. It's like, no, they're like heaving. they are emphasizing the bosom.
They wanted a very conventionally attractive penguin.
They're like, yes, the audience will want this. They want to see this. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, like, what can you even say about for why?
For why? For why?
I remember distinctly from when I was a kid, this scene where like they meet up with the elephant seals, and one of them just like starts sucking his own nose. But they have like Australian or like Kiwi accents, and he's like, right, yeah, hello, and then he's like on his own like trunk, and I was like, oh, ew, like, oh, that's so gross.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that kind of stuck with me. And the whole thing was like that, not rotoscope, mocap style, right? Like that was the entire movie.
Yeah. That's another thing that I want to give the movie credit for is not just the animation designs, and which I've already said a bit about, is both movies integrate live action. When the humans are incorporated, the humans are live action, and it blends weirdly well. Like,
wait, the humans are oh yeah, they're not mocapped at all. They're actual people, right?
They're actual people.
Oh, weird. All right.
And part of what the world building is trying to establish is that the humans are basically like elder gods or aliens or whatever. Like, there's something completely otherworldly to the penguins. So having them be live action, like set against the semi-stylized, realistic penguin designs, like it works. It suits the it suits it. I think it helps the theme.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense to me. Like I want to check it out and watch it again and just kind of like, like experience that, because like I do remember that vibe of like oh, they are aliens, like with their weird ships and their like insane looking outfits, like they're in like, extra thermal snowsuits and like bright orange colors, and like they're basically faceless with their goggles and masks. Like, it's like what if not an alien is that to a penguin?
Yeah.
No, I'd like to watch it again. I remember very few bits from the second one. I feel like the krill is the biggest thing to it. There's also like the puffin, which is like Scandinavian. Was the puffin played by PewDiePie?
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
I feel like no. I feel like it was like someone, because that movie came out like 2012, right? And that's like just when PewDiePie was getting started.
I assume so. I don't have the background on that.
I'm gonna look it up because I'm probably making an ass of myself on the radio. I know this isn't like radio, but like I'm gonna call it that. Puffin from Happy Feet 2. PewDiePie question mark? Okay, it is... Sven is a puffin. Well, yeah, alright, I mean, you got me there. Possibly from northeastern Atlantic colony. Sven... Why is no one saying the actor? Apparently his name is Sven, so I got that far. Oh, his quote... I'm remembering now. His quote is, "If you want it, you must will it. If you will it, it will be yours." Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a good thing to live by. But why will no one tell me the actor? Why is...
It's a secret.
What are these games that the world plays with my heart?
It's a secret for everybody.
Oh, Brad Pitt and Matt Damon played the Krills. Oh, Hank Azaria, not fucking PewDiePie. What? Sorry, I don't know if we're cursing or not. Hank Azaria played like everybody on The Simpsons, I think. Unless I'm getting that wrong too. I'll pop it up again because I like it. It's so it's this meme. I don't know if you're seeing the stream now, Gio. It's like a colony of penguins, and a few of them are standing on top of this like blobby-looking seal. And the seal has no distinguished features like with the limbs. So it says, "This land sausage is now under penguin rule," and I think it's delightful.
It was wonderful.
I had prepared it before I knew we were going to be talking about Happy Feet, so I think that worked out well. So I guess just like as an update with what we're doing with this stream. So I forget if we mentioned last time, we used to stream on a radio. We were never on actual airwave radio. It was always the internet, but it was our college internet radio station at SUNY Purchase. And at first it was called the Chuckle Fuck Hour. I won't beat around the bush on that. And then it was changed to What's the News, as we kind of focused more on like current events and politics in 2020. Right as things were getting crazy with like Trump and COVID and all that. And I think everybody's kind of aware about the state of the world, so let's not reiterate everything. We'll just kind of keep it light. We don't have to go too heavy on the politics.
I think that's a good idea. I agree with that.
And we did stream, or it wasn't streamed. We recorded playing video games, Age of Conquest, this free-to-play game on Steam, which is, you know, another war game, but much simpler than Civ. And that was, like, early 2019. And it was fun, and this is the first time we're kind of getting back into that, combining the streaming podcast with the Let's Play style. And we're always playing Civ and talking about silly things. So now it all kind of comes together. But speaking of being silly, how's it going with Hungary?
I have conceded to your interests, and I'm moving away from your.
Thank you.
I am focusing my energy in invading Buddha.
Okay, I see. I have to explore that with my chariot. So for those of you who didn't see the previous episode from last week, I am Santa Claus, and Gio is the Ant Kingdom. Let me just befriend Portugal quick. Oh, can I not befriend Portugal? Why won't they? What? Oh, alright.
No, they're not. It's not Portugal. It's Brazil, isn't it?
I got Portugal on the left side of the map.
Yeah.
They only have 2 cities, which is weird. So basically, we were both spawned on the same continent, and we have this sort of division line between starts kind of at Christmas Town in Singapore, goes across involving these city-states, kind of along this river with corn and everything, passing through Vatican. So Győr, the Hungarian city, is in my sphere of influence, and I have decided I don't want them conquered yet. Gio was preparing to conquer them, and ultimatums were declared. I'm considering how I want to approach the rest of this game. I think I want to be as Santa Claus, and the defender of the religion, the spirit of Christmas. I'm considering that I want to be the defender of humanity throughout this game. That is to say that I don't want any human civilization completely wiped from the board. And I don't initially plan to invade any of them or, like, shake them down for money, which is subject to change. I mean, they're all friendly to me right now. What about you, Gio?
I think I'm gonna do the opposite of that. I'm gonna probably, assuming I get the power to do so, I am probably going to be invading a number of people.
But so none of this is policy yet, but would you be fine, like, not completely conquering them, like, in accordance with, like, my whole thing I'm trying to do?
I suppose I will concede to your interest.
Alright, I might just hold you to that, if that's alright. And that's not to say that I'm trying to, like, hinder your expansion. Because I think it'd be cool if the bug people discover space travel.
Yeah.
And the spirit of Christmas is open to every convert. There is a spot at the Christmas table for every guest, no matter how small or how many legs they might have. With that said, I will maintain peace on this continent. Sorry, my giant fucking water bottle. It sounds like I'm loading a gun every time I open the top to take a sip. Oh, this island is bigger than I thought. Okay.
We got more island.
Yeah, I'm going to the right of it near Buda. I thought the lake by Győr was the end of it, like that was the ocean. This might be the only continent in the game.
Well, there's a lot more people we haven't encountered yet, so there must be more.
This is true. Let's see. Just trying to think what I need more of. Some cash ought to be good. I'm gonna put one commercial hub next to another. Yeah, I definitely want to upgrade my boats and just start exploring more, because, you know, the south of the water is pretty much explored by you. And to the north, there's a barbarian caravel, which would decimate the ships that I have now. So I'm just trying to, like, be patient on that front. 2, 3... Right, and I can't build forts for another 2 turns. What governor do I want? I gotta let Daphne in.
What?
You're not Daphne. Oh wait, it is Daphne. Everyone's ridiculous. That's what I've learned. Okay. Here, give me one sec while I just get resettled. Okay, so yes, Daphne was at the door. These are cats I'm talking about. Daphne was at the door on the outside, but Delilah was on the inside. Because she's a little crook. So I opened it and I let they switched spots. Now I have Daphne next to me. Oh, you're so chubby. Let's see what I want to do. Oh, Pex rebelled from you, I'm seeing.
Yep. I gotta go get him.
Oh, I get you. I see you're taking advantage of this bay over here with the 3 cities on it. That's pretty cool. Let's see, what city-state do I want to control? Zanzibar would be interesting. So, as we've established before, Fez and Laventa are in my domain. Vatican City is neutral, so neither one of us could conquer it. But
that's up for discussion.
What, Vatican City?
Yeah.
By treaty! By thunder! You like the Treasure Planet reference?
I do. I am a fan.
Thank you. How do I make Portugal my friggin' friend? There's no friendship option. I feel like I'm going nuts. No, we decided that Vatican City was neutral, but we could still, like, compete for the suzerainty of it, because it's, like, perfectly situated between us.
Yeah, we did decide that. But you know, it could be redecided.
On what terms, sir?
It's nebulous. It can be negotiated.
Don't use your fancy pants language on me.
Is that what I'm doing?
I thought so.
I think there are circumstances that would necessitate me taking Vatican City.
Pray tell.
We mentioned it last time. Like, what if I am in desperate need of a new city?
Oh, this old gem. Here we go.
It's sitting right there, conveniently at my border.
Yeah, mine too. I don't know. I feel like just let them be. Like
I'm not above that. Like,
what?
Sure. let's let it be for now.
Yes, please. You think you know a guy? I'm sorry, there is so much land. You have so many cities already. I have like 6. I mean, that's my own fault, but, like, just leave him alone. Maybe I should start invading people. That changed quick.
I'm sure there's people worth invading.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Like
or
Hungary.
bugs. I think I'm gonna leave Hungary to just kind of, live for a little bit. They seem very friendly towards me. You could say we're chums.
Is that what you'd say?
Yeah, little buddy old pal. I should really start, like, settling different things. This is gonna get out of hand. I just don't know what I really need right now in terms of, like, districts. I feel like I built a theater square recently. I never really invest in culture, which is,
right.
I probably should more often. Let me see what I'm on track with science. Like, science is the big one,
Well, you made it so there's only like you can't have we don't have culture victory enabled.
Yeah. No, it's only domination victory.
It's only domination enabled.
But you still you still need it just to hit, like, the milestones of different technologies. Have you explored off of the continent yet, or you're not at that level?
I can't get off the continent yet.
Same here. I think I'll invest in boats for, like, my next thing, just so I can kind of have that under the belt. So I've been watching Netflix more lately than I used to, because I usually just watch stuff on YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know when they started putting ads on Netflix. It's horrendous. I mean, always, of course. But, like, just there's no thought behind where they're putting the ads. So, like, I've been watching Arcane because new episodes are coming out, and I watched it years ago when it started. I have no idea what League of Legends is about, but I like Arcane. Which is good that it's, like, it's just good on its own without having known anything about the game, which I've mainly heard negative things about. I think just because it's kind of like a joke sometimes.
I think, like, maybe there's a hot take. Like, I think that's sort of a thing with online games in general. Is it online competitive? Like, it gets very it gets very aggravating. So, like, you get a lot of hostility between people now.
Okay, I get
that sort of thing.
Yeah, good thing we don't have any experience with that. Now stop invading Hungary or I'll go to war with you. Oh, it's completely unrelated.
There's no connection whatsoever.
No, I get what you mean. I'm wondering if the game itself is good. I mean, if it's so popular, it has to be. That might also be up for debate. The show itself is good. I'm really, sometimes it's, I don't know. Sometimes I have a little trouble following exactly like, this, certain decisions with like some of the side characters or like, they're balancing a lot and they're not doing it bad. Some of it I'm just like, oh, I should like rewatch this scene again just to get like the full, not even scene, like just like episode chunks to kind of like remember the details of certain subplots. It's also been like years since I watched season 1, so I think if I refreshed on that, it would probably help. But I've really been enjoying the subplot. I guess spoilers? Have you seen it? Do you mind if I spoil it?
I don't mind, but
Okay.
I have not seen it.
There's this character, Victor, who's kind of like a scientist studying this... Man, I don't even know what you call it. It's just like this holy or ancient, like, magic thing. God. I really, maybe I should rewatch it. I'm already doing terribly. He fuses with it after he dies, and basically becomes like this messianic healer figure. And he goes to like the most like down low, bottom of the barrel part of society, and just starts healing like these addicted people. Like I don't know exactly. I'm assuming they just have like some form of addiction. And I think that's a really neat thing that they have going on there. I think they handle that well. I think it's cool. And there's other good stuff in it too, but I think that one sticks the most out to me. But just like when back to the ad topic, when they pop up the ads on Netflix, it'll be like in the middle of like a big reveal of a character. So they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, and then this ad for like F1 or like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson pops up. Which is me even mentioning that is gonna date this episode so bad because that only happened like yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's alright. I mean, they can see the date when this was broadcasted. But it's just like there's just no thought to it. And they're not short ads. Like, they vary. But, like, they could be friggin' long. Some of them are, like, I don't know, the longest is either a minute or, like, a minute and a half. Which, I'm just complaining. But it's also, like, every ad is just, like, egregious anyway. So it's not just a minute, it feels a lot longer. You turn down the volume, but you still have to like let the video play. Well,
also you already pay for Netflix, right?
Literally,
it's not like you can upgrade to get no ads, right?
I mean, I think there might be tiers now. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do, where it's like. I can only assume it's like the same way they do with Amazon or Hulu, where it's like, oh, upgrade for, the ad-free version, which is kind of bogus. I mean, I don't know. I understand it in that sick, annoying kind of way that we're all kind of forced to deal with. It's not... I say it like I'm suffering, like they're just ads, but God, they're annoying. I'm gonna build something freaky out here. And I want to build a Colossus, too. Oh, I jacked up the position of this harbor. I can only build the lighthouse or the Colossus. Frig. Colossus gives me a trade route, and I like the statue too, so I'm gonna go with him. And there's this weird ad that I keep seeing. I mean, I don't know what it's about because I refuse to watch it. But, like, I always catch the first few seconds of it, and it's, the actor that plays Gus from Breaking Bad. I don't know his name. Do you know who I mean?
Is Giancarlo Esposito, rather.
Well, I got you. Thank you. It's him in the beginning of this ad, and I guess he's leading, like, a method acting group. I don't know if this is from, like, a show or whatever. And he's like, when Wednesday dances, and he starts doing, like, the Wednesday dance from Wednesday. And I'm watching him do it, and I'm just sitting there like, shut the fuck up. I don't know, the Wednesday dance is just so, like...
It's an outdated meme now.
Even when it was, like, new... God, it's been 2 years. Even when it was new, it was kind of cringe. You know? It's just... I don't know, I always had a problem with that scene. Like, the dancing is cool. Like, she's dancing really cool. But it's just, like... a generic white dude... the character is just standing there, like, watching her dance. Like, they're not dancing together. Like, I get it. Like, it's her scene, but it's also, like, there's no interaction, you know? She's just kind of dancing around him, and he's standing there like a fish. Which leads me into, my problem with dancing. Nothing. Dancing is perfect as a concept and a form of love.
The abstract notion of dance.
The concept of dance. Wait, I've got a reaction image for this too. I've come prepared. It's Mr. Krabs with interpretive dance quarterly. I love that shit. No, I went dancing yesterday in Manhattan. Well, I can build a fort now. And so it was Tame Impala music, and like a bunch of different sort of like indie, I guess you'd say like indie disco or indie rock, you know. Really good music, great dancing and stuff. So I'm online outside of it, waiting for them to like open up the party. And there's this group of people in front of me. You know, I'm all dressed up. I'm feeling good. I got like my blue bell bottoms on. I've got like a thick like fleece-lined corduroy jacket on. Nice tan color goes with the blue. Underneath, I got like a black shirt on. I got like the, you know, I'm feeling good. And in front of me, there's this group of people. I think it's like a trio. There's 2 women and 1 man, and then there's this fourth person, this man that isn't with them, but he's like chatting them up. And I'm kind of like getting like a little bit of an earful of it because I'm right next to him. And he's like making a couple jokes, and I'm like, you know, kind of laughing to myself. I'm like, you know, like whatever. He's got like a bright orange blazer on. He's got on a cap, like almost like a newsy cap. And on top of that, he's got like one of those metallic orange masks, like almost like a Halloween mask, but it's like a robot or something for like when you go to like techno parties or like raves. So I'm like, all right, you know, that's a bright outfit, you know. I'm like, oh, it doesn't. It's not that it doesn't fit. Excuse me. I'm just assuming he's enthusiastic, you know. That's my assumption. Let me just drink some water. And as he's talking to these people, I'm starting to realize that he's not... So he's, like, talking about, like, oh, yeah, like, you know, my legs are getting so ripped from, like, these workouts. And he's like, oh, what do you think I do for work? And one of the girls is like, model? Because he's coming off very, like... He's trying to be, like, charismatic and everything. He's, like, really, like... He's not, like, talking to them so much as at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And he says, "What do you think I do for work?" And one of the girls says, "Model." And he starts doing like bashful, like self-deprecation sort of. So I'm like, all right, like this guy. I'm like, his charm is kind of like quickly going down. Like at first I was like, oh, like cool outfit, and now I'm like, oh, he's kind of, you know. And then at some point he's like, he's like talking to him. He's like, I'll be the official party animal for the night. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, oh, that sealed it.
With this guy.
It's too much, Hang on, let me just see, because I have to pick a dedication for the Golden Age. Trade routes provide +3 gold. I only have 4 of those. Yeah, so that kind of put me off. So a big thing for me when I go dancing, especially in Manhattan where the clubs can be kind of small, is that I need a perimeter, because I'm not trying to like stand there and like waddle around, like I'm feeling, I'm connecting with the music. I'm letting like the spirit run through me a little bit, And if I don't have the space to do it, I get like a little like agitated, because I'm like, I don't like, first of all, I don't want to be like claustrophobic. In Manhattan, It's a fire hazard. And it's just like, I don't want to be like restraining myself for people who aren't even dancing, because it happened, and it always happens, that people use the dance floor as a social space rather than like an active movement space. I treat it as like an environment where like you are supposed to be like, moving a bit, and people kind of stand there like chatting with their drinks in that same area. Like, it doesn't work, And this place especially had a bar and had ample like table room like in the front lobby area, and even in like a separate smaller section next to the dance floor. Like, there's really no excuse. Like, I get it, like, you're kind of like soft dancing. Like, I can't tell anybody how to dance or have fun. But like, they get to be at a point where they're unaware or like sort of willfully disregarding or being disrespectful, where they're not being considerate that I'm and other people are like moving in these like wide radiuses, like I'm trying to like I'm establishing like a perimeter, not only is it unsafe for everyone, but it's just obnoxious that like people are just kind of like hovering like that,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So early on in the night, like when everybody kind of starts piling in, it's not a huge crowd yet. I have like that room to kind of like move around. And I see that same initial group that I saw online, and that guy is like talking to him again. Hang on. Delilah, what are you doing? Okay. I think she was like tearing up one of my backpacks. And he's like, he's still like schmoozing him, I guess. And he starts like, I don't know, I just don't know if he was an influencer or like like a party guy hired by like the organizer, or just like some dude that wants to like just be cool or something. But he's like taking selfies on the dance floor with these people, and he does it with other people, especially when the crowd is bigger and I'm getting into like that active like big movement space. Like, I see him like around in the crowd, like, chatting up the groups, doing that selfie thing, taking off like these robotic like 8-bit shaped sunglasses that have like these LEDs in them, giving them to people to try on. Not inherently bad stuff, but it's also just like, he's alone and these other people are in groups, and he's coming up to them and like doing these things when it's just like, I don't know, like, why aren't you also like dancing? Like, you said you're here you are the party, that was your claim, and
you are here to party.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing too. I guess everyone has their own interpretation of party, but it comes off more as like look at me rather than, like, you know, feel the music, feel the energy of the party. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just how I felt at that time. But, like, it gets to a point where it's, like, a little obnoxious, where it's just, like, I've seen it with other people before, where, like, they just want to, like, hijack the vibe almost, and I don't know, to use it to, like, get the attention. They use it to, like, hit on women, and this guy was doing that to an extent, too. And it's just, like, you're not I don't know, like, it rubs me the wrong way a little bit. There was this one moment that I remember where I'm in the front of... There's, like, a stage where the DJ is on top of, and I'm in the front, kind of, like, doing my thing, and I finally have, like, a semicircle of space in front of me, and I'm kind of in, like, a collection with other people that are actually feeling the music, you know? They're doing the same thing as me, they're not, like, waddling, they're, like, dancing. I don't know why my throat is so dry, I don't talk this much. It's been a while since I've been on the radio. And I see him out of the corner of my eye walking towards me, because, like, I'm straight up grooving. And I'm like, I just assume he's coming to, like, do that same thing. Like, you know, hop on my vibe, you know, take a selfie with me, like that, all that shit. He comes up, like, shoulder to shoulder with me. And I stop, and I'm like, hey, man, maybe not right here. He can, like, and that's not to say he can dance wherever he wants. But I knew he wasn't there to dance, like, the way I was feeling it, you know? He was there for, like, his own, like, charisma conquest or whatever. And it says something defensive, and I'm not even, like, listening. I turn away, and I'm just kind of, like, getting back in my groove. And he's just there taking up space. Like, half the time he's just on his phone in the middle of the dance floor. And I was proven right because I turned back and he's doing that selfie thing with another group, maybe like 5 extra feet away from where he was initially standing. So one of the charismatic dancers was this guy with a beard and long hair, and he looked like Jesus.
Of course.
And he was gathering people at one point, I mean across the night, but at one point specifically, in the middle of the room, he was like pulling in like individuals left and right to like dance with them and get them to dance. And, you know, it was this cool thing, like everybody was like kind of showing off a little bit of the moves, you know, like almost like that circle thing. And notably, he invited the neon jacket guy. And it was this thing of like, you know, I didn't want to dance with him because I just wasn't feeling his energy. But everyone is welcome in the dance Jesus' kingdom. Even the people that are maybe like, you know, just my perception was different. Like, he just welcomed him to his to the realm, and I'm like, all right. You know, maybe I could, like, learn something out of that, you know? It's like I could give... I'm selective with, like, the dance energy, because I'm usually just dancing on my own, or, like, if I see someone else, like, completely grooving out, like, I'll... You know, you kind of, like, have the energy exchange. And then, notably, at one point, the Dance Jesus slipped and fell, because it's that same thing. Now there's drinks on the floor because people drink on the dance floor, which is completely stupid. And I went to help him because I was near him. And I lifted him up and I checked his head and I said, "Did you hit your head? Do you need water?" All this. It was, you know, the fall of Christ.
Yeah.
And I turned and I noticed that the neon jacket guy, this was the first time I didn't really see him running, you know, to be the center of attention. He was avoiding the situation, you know? He was the Judas.
Oh no, yeah. Now I'm thinking he did something. Well, because someone was taking his spotlight.
Well, I don't think he made the guy fall. That'd be extra malicious. That'd be evil. You know, that pushes him from annoyance level to, like, villain status. The way I see it is, like, you know, obviously everyone can't just jump in and help somebody at once, but it's like, this man invited you to join the dance of life, and in his time of need, you're just nowhere to be found, you know? So that was interesting. But, like, knowing the dance Jesus man, even, you know, that's me putting, like, some extra allegorical spin on this. Like, I don't think there was actually some kind of betrayal going on. It was just an interesting, I guess, comparison. But that is to say that even after that situation, if that were the case, you know, I left, but I'm sure Dance Jesus would have still invited that guy to dance with him in that circle. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I was riding the subway back. I've got to simulate this. Hang on. Okay. I gotta pull up a video. More of an audio. Okay, so on the subway back, you know, I'm kind of like out of it. I'm like tired. Had a good time, but I'm just exhausted. It's like late at night. And I'm waiting on the train. It's like getting delayed. It's like 20 minutes out. And as I'm waiting, just on the microphones overhead, you just hear, "Hey, New York," followed by a series of beeping noises, and then just a long ringing sound for like maybe 30 seconds. So let me try to simulate it. So it was something like, "Hey, New York." But, like, deeper than that, you know?
Yeah.
And less of a pause. Like, it was like they had a message that got cut off, you know? But I'm just sitting there as it's ringing. It's like a sanity test. It's like as if that was like the real message all along. They're just like trying to keep us on our toes. Like, "Hey, New York!" Intense beeping sound. And I'm sitting there experiencing it, and I'm like, wow, this is the most annoying thing in the world. Like, it's like they were trying to upset us. That's how I felt about it. How are you doing in your country?
I need to retake PEX. It's vying to go rejoin Hungary.
Oh, I see.
And I am also still trying to invade Hungary.
Let me see if I can profit off this.
What do you mean?
I'm sure I could get some money out of it. Oh, I see the... Okay, I see the ocean now. I think you should... This isn't even me profiting off of it. This is just advice. I think if you build a city between Pex, Lasius, and Wesmania, on that forest tile, it might be hard to put a settler there. If you put one in between those three cities near that lake, it might give you that stability effect. Alternatively, you could destroy Pex and build another city nearby. Excuse me. But maybe you should leave Buddha alone too? Question mark?
No, that's quitter talk.
I see.
I've been pursuing this, and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna try.
Is there anything? Do you want to? No, I don't. All right, never mind. I was gonna say if you want to rent, if you want to pay me to invade, but I'm also not trying to declare war on them. Like that's my thing. You could pay me to not declare war on you, though. I think that would be fair.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, alright then.
Please.
Please.
I'm running out of money.
Do you need a loan? That could be interesting. That could be lucrative for me. Actually, I've only got $20. Well, you have a lot of cities. I mean, not that they're underdeveloped, but what if you developed them? Like, you got a lot of ocean access. I think you're also invading Venice at the same time.
Yeah.
You're a busy bee.
I am well. My kind are well known for keeping busy.
I see. You know, there was peace on this continent before these bugs showed up.
That's false propaganda.
Well, I haven't declared a war.
I don't believe you.
I don't think I did. Yeah, I didn't. You lie.
No, it's fake news. You definitely did.
I see, of course. I'm trying to think. I've only fought barbarians. Everything else has been pretty peaceful. I threatened war. That's because you were being mean.
Me?
Yeah, you. But only briefly. Oh, I could... Okay, this wouldn't violate any kind of peace treaty. Do you want to... Right, you don't have money. I could provide reconnaissance for you. For money. Because I have access to his territory.
I don't have money.
Yeah, that's the kicker. Oh, that'll do it. Do you have any economic strategy? Like, do you have a plan to get more money?
I mean, I'm going to continue trying to invade.
Well, that
See
might be...
how much money I can get from that.
That might be more expensive, though. Well, because it costs money to have all those soldiers.
See, that's the thing. They're not soldiers. They're ants. So they don't cost anything.
Don't they? Are you lying?
I don't think they cost anything. I have I have an obscene amount of ants, and I still have like positive gain money.
Here, let me see. Well, because they're scouts, right? They're not like infantry.
Right.
So, from what I'm seeing, skirmishers, which are medieval scouts, cost 2 gold per turn. So you could see it in the menu when you're about to like produce a soldier, that the amount of maintenance they would cost you. Check it for your ant scouts. Do you have any traditional infantry?
Wait, I can't produce ants anymore.
Oh, did you evolve to skirmishers?
Yeah, now I have skirmishers. What am I gonna do with all my ants now?
You gotta upgrade them.
I gotta upgrade them.
Or maybe you have to invest in regular people soldiers now. As for me, I'm keeping this Santa reindeer as long as I can. He can explore cities anywhere. Okay, so we're seeing more of the continent now. What do you call it? So that border line continues. Vatican City, Gior. Gior, Buddha are hours respectively, or like in our zones, and then there's that mountain range there when you go to the ocean. So above that mountain range would be in my sphere my sphere of influence. Excuse me. So I have a lot of this continent's northern region. Let me just move the microphone because now I'm sitting all different. Okay, that's probably. I don't think that makes a difference. I'll just speak the same or louder. So the north of this continent is mainly my sphere, which is a lot of land. We haven't discovered any other land masses yet, so we'll have a conversation about that when we get to it, but we'll balance out the land thing at some point, even though you have more cities than me currently. I believe.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only got 3 cities.
What is all this? What is this nonsense you tell me? I delight you with recollections of factual facts, and you lie to me?
No, I would never.
I don't know if I trust these bug people. Look, there's another one in Singapore. Look at him. Oh, I see we're looking at Vatican City again, good sir.
Not at all. I'm still invading Hungary.
No, you became the suzerain, replacing me. Father Christmas.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, then I guess there's nothing more to discuss on the matter.
Surely this is a misunderstanding.
Surely. But of course.
This this movie that you were watching before this. Um, do you want to speak a little bit on it, or is that going to be a bit too much for this stream?
It's a little intense. Just for context, it's this movie, The Substance. Very well made. Still kind of processing my emotions on it. I will refrain for now. I feel like there's not much I can really personally say on it. I feel like it's something that just kind of has to be experienced. It's good. It's one of those movies that is well made, and I will never watch it again because it makes me uncomfortable, which isn't a bad quality in a movie. You know, art has to make you feel something, even if it's not a good something sometimes. I feel similarly about the movies I Saw the TV Glow and The Whale. Out of these three movies, I think I Saw the TV Glow is the most powerful, or that I resonate the most with. But yeah, I think they're all a bit heavy, you know. Oh, but they're all well made, you know. I think they're fantastic movies. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, I forgot to mention with the Netflix thing. I've been watching the Venture Brothers lately.
That's on Netflix?
Yeah, only 3 seasons, I believe. And I knew nothing about the show except like, I had a general idea that it was like a spoof of like old like action shows from like the 60s and 70s, you know, playing on like Johnny Quest and like Hanna-Barbera content. I didn't know that the pilot came out in like 2003, and the entire thing sort of wrapped up in 2023 with a movie. I had no idea the entire span of this was 20 years, you know, but that's cool. But it's interesting because they, you know, the episodes are a bit one-off, sort of. It's a little loose. Like, they have things that happen in one episode that's serial style, that it will affect the future episodes, you know? I think it's done well. But it's this weird thing with Netflix again, where they only have a small chunk of a TV show's content to show on Netflix. Like, they only have the first 3 seasons, and I'm blanking. I think there's like 6 or 7. And I don't know how the deals work, but I'm like, can you just get the full thing? Right? Like Like, that's how it used to be. I don't know. Like, back when Netflix was, like, first becoming, like, this streaming service. Like, it was the first streaming service. And there's just, like they don't hold on to, like, anything that was original with them. They have the ads now. You know? They don't have the full picture of TV shows that they get the rights to. It's just annoying. And, like, I get it, because it's this thing of, like, you know, they didn't have their own original content. They were just putting out everyone else's, and then everybody else was like, oh, let's get our own streaming service, you know?
Right, yeah.
And, like, they have their own originals, but I think Netflix is heavily tied with Universal, because they'll put on, like, say, like, Illumination Originals. Like, they have this new short from the Sing franchise, which, you know, I don't personally like those movies. I just don't think they're well made. Any Illumination project. Like, the first Despicable Me was good. Otherwise, like, after that, they just kind of are cheap movies. But I think they're very heavily tied with Universal because of the Illumination tie-ins and other things. Like, they have the Scott Pilgrim animated miniseries that came out last year, which I've never read the comics, but I liked the movie, and I was, you know, I thought the show was interesting. I thought it was a good, like, change up. Have you seen Scott Pilgrim, like, the movie?
I have not, but I have a friend of mine that's like, really big into it, so I know a little bit about it.
Oh, I get you. I think the movie is fun because I like all the actors in it. Like, it has, like, you know, Michael Cera, obviously. Chris Evans is probably my favorite. He's just, like, he's like the second ex-boyfriend. He's just such, like, a macho jerk, but, like, he's wailing on Scott, and then he turns to Ramona, and he's like, new boyfriend, he seems nice, and then he goes back to kicking his ass. He's just such a gem in that movie. I don't know, I love him. But, like, there's this thing of, like, I guess the whole idea, and it's better conveyed in the comics from what I've, like, read about reviews, is, you know, the idea is that just that Scott is, like, this loser guy in the entire thing, but people in real life are like, oh, I want my personality to be just like Scott Pilgrim, and I want to find, like, a Ramona Flowers, you know, just, like, cringe shit. Like, they like, people absorb it a little bit too much. You know, I think the way I see the movie is that, like, among all the actors, like, they all just seem like friends having a good time. Like, it's just a good, to me, it's just a good movie that happens to be, like, a Scott Pilgrim adaptation. Again, that's coming from, you know, I never read the comic. What is your current plan with PEX?
I'm attacking it. I'm trying to take it back.
Oh, I see all the ants now. I see Hungary is sending a horse down at you. Are you upgrading the ants or no? Are you turning them into skirmishers?
No, I'm keeping them as ants for now.
Oh, I get you. Do they have any particular powers?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. The big thing about them is just that you're able to produce them quickly, and that again, it looks like they don't cost anything.
Okay, that's cool.
Like, like they don't have any upkeep.
Okay, I think I can officially start exploring. I should upgrade these boats first, but I can start exploring more of the world around us. I have ocean tiles discovered. Where is Geneva? Oh, I see. I'm going to avoid eating turkey on Thanksgiving this year.
Really?
And I guess henceforth. I haven't had turkey in a while. Because they waddle around in my yard. You know, they are native, but they were reintroduced to Staten Island by people that kept them as, I guess, farm animals or pets. And the turkeys we eat are a different species, technically, than the wild turkeys. They're bred for eating. And, you know, the system of breeding turkeys is itself unethical, just because they live horrible lives. And it's not so much a conservation thing, because obviously we're not eating the wild turkeys, or at least not on Staten Island. It's just kind of a, you know, a solidarity thing. It feels right spiritually. It's like...
I get what you're saying,
Yeah, like I see these giant, beautiful animals that are harassed by the locals all the time. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't... You know, I've befriended them. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, well, the eating species wouldn't exist without man, to my knowledge. It's just like, I don't know. It's like a solidarity thing. I brought it up to my grandpa, because he's not really big on turkey either. And I was like, well, what do you want for Thanksgiving then? Because I'm trying to, like, pitch suggestions, because I was like, oh, I'll make some kind of meat. And I said, what about, like, ham? He's like, no Thanksgiving ham. And I said, what kind of meat would you want then? And he said, lasagna. But that's not...
I guess it's a good answer.
Just some wild-caught lasagna? I don't know, I don't think that would be so bad. I mean, we're not doing that. We made it for his birthday, but... You know, change it up. Because we try to incorporate a little bit of Italian food into Thanksgiving, even though most of it is, like, American-style food. So we start off with, like, tortellini soup. Which I friggin' love. So we're not getting, you know, that's always sticking around. But it is a thing of like, oh, let's start off this heavy meal with a bowl full of carbs. You know, maybe if it was protein-based, like a spinach tortellini, that'd be cool. Whatever they make it out of. They do like lentil pasta, you know.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Sorry, language. That barbarian gladiator that's been harassing my people for like 7,000 years has finally killed himself. He threw himself at my musket man and was completely outmatched, so now my people are free. There will be jubilation. How's it going with your war?
I've reclaimed Pax. I've set my sights back on Buddha.
Is my chariot in the way?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
For now, it's fine.
I'm moving it north to towards Pest. Well, Gior and then Pest. I swear, I gotta discover railroads. This stuff is getting slow. There's just there's so many hills everywhere. It's hard to move. Now, do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
That's a good question. You know what? I haven't. I guess I haven't put too much thought into it.
That's valid.
My mind is immediately saying the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Ooh, yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
See, that's so that's Chuck Jones animation, and it's a good one. I like it a lot. His style goes well with Dr. Seuss, I think, or I mean that kind of becomes its own thing, the way it's presented in that short. I'm not personally a fan of Chuck Jones, his animation of Tom and Jerry. I think in the 60s, maybe the 50s even, he just kind of had animation control over the new Looney Tunes and the new Tom and Jerry shorts that were coming out. And it was that 60s style of, like, things are a bit stiffer, like costs were getting cut. Because you saw animation in, like, the 40s, especially with Tom and Jerry, where everything is so fluid and, like, fast-moving. And then you see it like in the 60s with Chuck Jones, and you see it in Looney Tunes, where characters are typically standing still a lot more often. And I don't know, I just don't think I wasn't a fan of the Tom and Jerry ones. Like, even as a kid, I could tell that there was a difference. And I feel like it kind of led into the 60s animation style of, like, Hanna-Barbera and, like, Mr. Magoo and everybody. Not that I don't like those shows. Like, I always loved, like, Pink Panther and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just the time, you know? Just, like, animation got a lot cheaper in the 60s. But I am a fan of the Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Some of it's weird. You know, they have original musical numbers, which aren't bad. Like, I like them a lot. It was this DVD bundle that we got in 2010, I guess, that had that movie, Rudolph, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Little Drummer Boy, Frosty the Snowman, and Frosty Returns. And, you know, we would watch all those movies on repeat, so, like, they're kind of, like, burned into my mind now. The Mr. Magoo special, my sister doesn't like it. I think it's, I think it's fun. I like it. There's just some wacky musical numbers, like just some weird characters. The Frosty the Snowman sequel, Frosty Returns, isn't really a Christmas movie. And I feel this way about, like, a lot of Frosty the Snowman cartoons or specials outside of the first one, where he's more of just, like, a general winter character rather than, like, Christmas. Like, his first movie is about Christmas. He meets Santa, like, they're going to the North Pole. But after that, he's just, like, this force of winter, like Jack Frost. And, like, Jack Frost shows up in one of the movies, too. But in Frosty Returns, I'm guessing it was made in, like, the 90s because it has John Goodman in it as Frosty. And he actually does... He fits. Like, he does well. Ah, screw it. I built a dam and... I didn't build it yet. It's being built. And the river's still flooded. Sorry.
No, it's alright.
But the idea of it is that... the parents of this town are, like, buying this can of spray from this company run by this old man who has the same voice actor as Captain Knuckles from Flapjack. So that's a treat, always, to hear him. It's the Flying Dutchman guy, too, you know.
Yeah.
And it's this can of spray stuff that when you shoot it at snow... It melts, but the way it's animated, it just kind of disappears. So it's basically like road salt in a can, you know? And it's this big thing of like, oh, there won't be any winter if there's no snow. Like, they're not even just spraying the sidewalk. They're, like, spraying, like, grass and trees. Like, they're smothering the town in this stuff. And they're saying, like, oh, it won't be winter if there's no snow. Which, like, yeah, like, snow has its hand in, winter. But it's also, like, I'm not sure that it's the lack of frozen ice, frozen water in the form of fallen snow on the ground, like, remaining in that state that's necessarily the problem. Because, in theory, all you're doing is melting it faster, which is what's going to happen anyway, you know? There can be an argument made for, like, animals that use snow as, like, shelter or to hide. Otherwise, like, it's still water going back into the ground, which is, you know, the big thing. It's just that precipitation. I think the bigger concern is the chemical you're spraying to melt all of the snow everywhere. Because that's a problem in the real world, where it's just, like, you know, road salt is toxic, and that runoff gets into, like, streams and, like, deforms wildlife, like frogs and other amphibians, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, there's this concern in it that Frosty is gonna get sprayed and just, like, die. Like, at one point, his stomach gets sprayed with this stuff, and he's just got, like, a hole through the backside like he's been shot by a cannonball. So, like, the preservation of his life force is a big factor in this, which I feel like is always a theme in all of the Frosty specials. Like, they're always trying to make sure Frosty doesn't die, which is a little heavy, right? Like, for a movie about a talking snowman.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in about... But you're right, it's what it's always about.
Like, every time. Like, in the first one, it's that they're trying to take him to the North Pole. I don't even remember why exactly. I forget why they want to bring him there. But he's bringing the girl with him. I feel like her name is Mary Elizabeth. It's some Protestant thing. And, you know, obviously she can't, like, survive in the North Pole. Plus, the way she's animated, she's technically, like, wearing shorts in the middle of, like, a Canadian winter. So she's obviously dying for, like, half the movie. and Frosty puts her in a greenhouse when they're traveling north, but when he walks in it, he starts melting, so there's like no solution, apparently. He melts. Frosty returns, same thing, they're spraying him with that stuff. Can I just not be friends with Portugal? Why is it not an option? Sorry, I'm still dealing with this negotiation bullshit. I mean, they're happy with me, that's fine. I don't know if this is a glitch or not that I can't... What if I send them a delegation? No, I can't make friends with them. Okay, I might invade Portugal just to avoid this glitch. That's my excuse. I don't even really want to. Like, I'm fine. In Frosty... There's a Frosty special where he, like, gets married, which questions a lot of... You know, that has to be a sin, right? Like, they get married by a snow preacher, which, I don't know, is that allowed?
I suppose.
I mean, I guess if he's been ordained. I don't know, I feel like that's like having a rock marry you if it's wearing a collar, right? Like, is that not the same?
That's a pretty apt parallel, yeah.
Or like having a horse do it. I think Jack Frost tries to kill Frosty just out of jealousy. So that and every time it's not just the environment, right? Like, that's a part of it. Like, oh, the greenhouse might melt him. Oh, he might accidentally get sprayed. You know, there's also people who are trying to murder Frosty, right? Like, there is malpractice happening. There is malice, is what it is. Like, in the first movie, it's the magician guy who's like trying to take his hat back, even though it grants him life. It's like trying to repo a heart you donated to someone, or like a kidney you gave them. But in the magician's case, it was his hat that he didn't give away. And he didn't think that the snowman would come alive. So I can understand why there would be like some confusion there. In the one with the old man played by Captain Knuckles, he tells his cat to drive the truck that sprays stuff, like on an industrial scale. He orders him to murder Frosty, as Frosty sings about the joys of winter. In the Jack Frost one, I don't know what he does, but he also sings about killing Frosty. after he like falls in love, which is especially tragic. And are you familiar with Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July?
I am not.
It's another these are all Rankin Bass movies, but it's another stop motion one, like back when they were still doing that. And it's a crossover of Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph. And they have Mickey Rooney come back, who was Santa in Santa Claus is Coming to Town, so technically it's a three-way crossover. So that's kind of neat. They have their own, like, universe, which is fun. But what do you call it? It's, it's weird, like, they have... So it's not only the two of them crossing over, but they're also making it about Christmas in July. I forget if it's really good. I used to watch it when I was younger. But there's this Winter Wizard character, not to be confused with the Winter Warlock from Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This guy is less of like a warlock and more of like an ancient, disturbed god bound to like the winter solstice. Like, he's not just like a winter enthusiast. Like, he is the force of the night and the wind or whatever. And his enemy is this this goddess who is like the manifestation of the Aurora Borealis, which is kind of cool. Like, I'll give them that. You know, they're creative. You can never say that they aren't, you know, being cool and like trying new stuff. Like, they're having fun. Or they have ideas, at least. And he tries to kill Frosty too. I forget how. It's usually trying to take his hat away, because it's established that that's his life force. But again, that's another murder chalked up to the list, and I forget why they tried to kill him. I think they really wanted Rudolph and his nose, because the Aurora Borealis goddess gave him the power of illumination with his nose. I'm not sure how that... and it's like a threat to the winter god man. And killing Frosty would somehow... I think he kills him, and then he's like, "Hey, Rudolph, if you want Frosty back, just get rid of your glowing nose power." So it's like coercion, right? But again, you know, murder. And then there's another special that came out in like 2000 and... I want to say 5, like... It's like The Legend of Frosty the Snowman or something. And it's not, like, super good, but I guess it's like a guilty pleasure because I watched it when I was a kid. It's kind of like an awkward piece, I guess. And Frosty is... They don't really try to kill him. He's just been, like, missing in action for, like, 30 years. Because the conniving principal of the town school, who's like manipulating the mayor, who's like the main character's dad. So the principal character locked the magical hat in a box so that it could never combine with the winter snow and create Frosty. Which, now that I'm saying it like that, that's actually kind of a sick, cool idea, right? Like, what do you think of that?
I don't know if this is a compliment or like an insult, but it's like this. It's like the setup for the sort of the silly slasher movies that they're making now, with like the one they did with Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, because Winnie the Pooh is public domain now, so they made a slasher movie with him.
Oh shit! All right, I like that.
Of course, because that's what everyone has been just dying for to be.
They're like, oh, I really want to see Winnie the Pooh kill people.
But like, that's what that setup is like. We need to lock away the magic hat so Frosty the Snowman doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And terrorize the town.
Like he's this like threat, this like magical force. But I forget what the reasoning was, because I'm trying to like remember the plot exactly. So the town is very like 50s, like McCarthy era. Like everything is like to a T and proper. And the kids are feeling very, like, I guess repressed, you could say. They're very, like, you know, everything has to be, like, coded a certain way, and, you know, everything is, like, strict and scheduled. And they start forming this rebellious, like, secret society where, like, their signal to each other is, like, they pretend to, like, tip a hat. Because all of them are interacting with Frosty, like, on the down low at night, like, seeing him and, like, learning about, like, fun and freedom and all that. Which is kind of an interesting thing. And then it challenges the mayor, who isn't, like, really a villain. He's just kind of, like, misguided. But he's manipulated by the principal, who is the villain. And the principal is like, look, the kids are getting out of hand. Like, everything is all, you know, screwy. He's like, give me, like, dictatorial power. Even though... and he wants to like control everything in the town, and they see Frosty as like this rebellion figure, which is so weird, right? But it's like interesting, you know. Now that I'm thinking about it more, like I'm kind of appreciating the concept. I want to rewatch this one. I don't know why the hat was locked away. I think it was just kind of like... I don't know, actually. I forget what the context for that is. But Frosty the Snowman is voiced by the guy that plays Patrick Star. I think that's like... He really doesn't play a lot of different characters. It's mainly been Patrick for the past 20 years. 25 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a surprise when you hear him playing Frosty. And it's not bad, but it just sounds like Patrick, you know?
Right.
Like, I'd rather hear Frosty with, like a deep, ancient voice, or, like, even just, like, Sam Elliott.
That would be something. No, I like that idea.
Like, if we're gonna play this idea that he's, like, this otherworldly force, like, he doesn't have to be a dopey snowman. He could just be, like, a spirit embodied by the snow, you know? I guess that the Frosty voice that is Patrick isn't my favorite. Not that it's bad. It fits with the rest of the movie that it's already in, so I can't even complain about it. Like, it's not bad. John Goodman, I actually find myself liking a lot as Frosty. I think he's got a good voice for it. You know, I guess it's just because how he is, but, like, you can hear, like, the depth of his voice, and, you know, like, the way John Goodman is physically as a person kind of fits with Frosty, you know?
Sorry, you got caught up in combat. But no, yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
How's it going on your end?
I am close to taking Buddha.
Nice. Yeah, I can't think of, like, a favorite Christmas special. I like the ones that they play on repeat, but they just get so overplayed, you know? Like, I'm a fan of Elf, and the 2000 Grinch with Jim Carrey is just such a weird friggin' movie. Like, it's just so unhinged. Like, I like it.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just fixing the dam over here. I like, what else did I say? I like A Christmas Story 2. They play it for 24 hours, like, on repeat, on, whatever channel it is, you know? And it's just, like, I mean, it's cool, because you can, like, catch it if you missed it, but it's just, like, I don't know, like, it's just, it's too much sometimes, you know? I feel the same way with, like, Christmas music, where it's just, like, you don't have to play it in November, you know? I mean, it's the same...
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I'm just agreeing.
Oh, I get you. Like, it's the same thing we've talked about before, but it's just, like, everybody's always jumping the gun, you know? like, I don't know, I don't know if it's just different nowadays. Like, it felt more special, like, Christmas when I was younger, because it's like, there's just, like, that wait time up until it, you know? Like, you have to wait until this magical day, and now it feels like you have to, like, live it for 60 days, you know? Like, you know, a sixth of the entire year dedicated to Christmas is insanity.
Yeah.
Halloween is a bit more of a casual holiday, but I still don't want to see, like, you know, orange leaf decorations and cobwebs while I'm still baking to death in August, you know?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I think that's an interesting comparison, specifically because I think like the ubiquitous opinion sort of treats them as different, while I think they're sort of in the same boat. I think I think people really jump the gun with both holidays. But I think the sort of general consensus is that like everyone sort of agrees, like jumping the gun on Christmas is it's a bit exhausting.
Yeah.
There but everyone is also like sort of pushing Halloween to be celebrated sooner and sooner and sooner.
Yeah. I guess because Halloween is more of a, like I said, it's casual, but it's also like, you know, like, let's put up spooky stuff and, like, dress like little freaks, you know? Like, it's just, like, a celebration of, like, goth and, you know, death and all of that. It's like people just want to live like that all the time anyway, you know? I don't think anybody wants to have, like, Christmas decorations up for the entire year, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you could get away with, decorating with just skulls and stuff. I mean, I'm not, anymore, like, I used to be big on this when I was younger. I'm not really a fan of, like, plastic Halloween decorations for myself. Like, I can appreciate haunted houses and, like, those people that go all out with their, like, front yard displays and, like, compete with them. But I'm like, if you have charming, natural Halloween decorations that consist of, like a deer skull, or, I don't know, what else would be good? Like, not like styrofoam tombstones, you know, like stuff that can, you know, like tapestries, you know, stuff that's like crocheted or knitted that you put on the wall that has like, you know, it's like a celebration of death and life. I think that can go up year round, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like if you have a giant inflatable minion Santa in the middle of March, you're gonna look like an insane person. But the inflatables are especially obnoxious to me, but to put them on your lawn for 2 months, I mean, not only is it just a waste of energy, and they look tacky because they're always like shitty Disney characters. Like, I don't need like an Olaf inflatable staring at me through my bedroom window while I sleep until like January 11th. Oh, I see you've invested in Vatican City again.
It's possible.
I see. Perhaps you would mind letting me have them in my control, given that you're invading everyone else. How do we feel about that?
I might.
Might what?
Yeah. Yes.
You what? Yes.
I might oblige you. I might let you control Vatican City, and maybe I won't.
I don't like what you're getting at.
I'm being nebulous. I'm being negotiable about it.
I don't think you're negotiating.
Yeah, what will you offer me? What will you offer me for Vatican
Well,
City?
given that you've invaded everything else to the south of the border, maybe I could just have it? I'm not even invading them. Sir. Your silence is deafening.
I have a lot of ants to try and get fighting.
Do you plan to invade them?
No, of course not.
I don't like the way you said that.
Why would I need to invade them when I already control them?
'Cause you're sick. And I control them.
Because you're evil.
I accuse. J'accuse.
Accuse.
Because you're sick. I am sorry. Oh, alright. This ocean might be bigger than I thought. The one to the left of us. Your turn's taking a bit of a minute.
It takes a lot to manage all of these ants.
I see.
Oh, the World Congress.
Oh, this ought to be rich.
This ought to be rich.
Let's see. No, they don't want to declare war on you yet. Okay, so now my new things act as culture bombs. Brazil is settling a little close to me.
The nerve.
Now, the spirit of Christmas welcomes all, but this might be getting a little tight.
What are you about?
Oh, nothing. Harumph.
Well, of course.
No, no problems at all. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize.
What was that?
I'm gonna go to war with you. No. I'm going to invade you.
I'm going to invade you. I'm gonna take one of your cities.
I'm like, oh, I just noticed. No, actually, one of my cities is called the Mountain of the Whispering Winds, which is where the Winter Warlock lives in Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's pretty cool. Like they had fun with these mods, you know, with the city names for Santa and the ants.
Yeah.
For Santa Claus and his enemy, Anta Claus. Brings the children packets of sugar and chews on their leg. Yeah. Not a fan. I'm not sure what I should do. I like the idea of defending humanity. But I really think that I should invade Portugal. I feel like I can't claim, like, the moral high ground. But they're in my camp. They're in my area, anyway. Oh shit, you took Buddha.
Yeah.
Have you considered investing in not ants?
A little bit.
Will you?
But that costs money.
Do you have
money
any?
that I don't have.
I see. What would you be willing to trade for money? Like, will you stop? Will you stop it?
Will you cut it out?
Will you knock it off? Just whatever it is.
Just in general, stop it.
No. Would you stop going after... Would you stop trying to be the suzerain of Vatican City if I paid you?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay. Thank you. How much do you want? I've got 120 right now. I don't know if you want, like, iron or something, too. I've got iron. I have niter. I don't know if you have musketmen yet.
I do not.
Just the money, then?
Yeah.
How much do you need?
More than you have, but I'll settle for I don't know, like 20.
I mean, for 20 or for 120?
Well, 120 is how much you have, right?
Yeah, I didn't hear if you said 120 or 20.
No, I said 20.
Oh. I mean, I'll give you more than that just because that's not going to buy you much. I mean, what are you trying to buy anyway?
Well, something stronger than ants.
Oh, this is fair. What are your prices like? Like, for stuff you have to buy?
It'll cost me like 400 for a trebuchet.
And how much do you have now?
330.
Alright, I'll max that out to... I'll put you at 400. Is it exactly 70 that you need?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that if you lay off Vatican City. Actually, not just with the envoys. In perpetuity, I am claiming them I can conquer them anytime I want, just like Laventa and Fez. Does that seem fair?
Now hold on. You getting me to lay off of Vatican City this entire time has specifically been so neither of us take it.
Yeah.
And now you're positioning it that now you can take it at any time.
Yes. For money.
For money.
I mean, would you still like to have it be neutral and not have the money?
It's the principle of the thing.
Okay, that's fair, because I was the one that proposed the thing. See, I mean, I don't even know if I would actually invade them anyway. You will swear off being their suzerain forever, and I'll leave them. I'll let them exist as an independent place.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay. I will send you $70. I'm gonna throw open borders between us into the treaty too, just for the sake of it. Okay. I just sent the deal over. Well, now wait a minute. Rev up those fryers. Help! Help!
Help! Help!
My leg. That poor man.
That man had the audacity to bust open the doors.
Make his demands.
Make his demands. You know what?
You know what?
I'm always so self-conscious of myself. I think today I'm gonna be confident. I'm gonna announce myself. I'm gonna be charismatic with the people and the Krusty Krab. I'm gonna assert myself and be proud of who I am. And surely nothing bad will come of this.
Immediately gets punished.
Immediately gets punished.
Breaks his leg on the way out, too. Why the fuck everything cost money?
Everything costs monies.
Ooh, I can make alliances now. I don't know who I want. I guess Portugal if I can, because I don't really want to invade them. Oh, now I can be friends. Okay. trying to destroy Catholicism with the Christmas spirit.
Phrases you never expect.
This is the war on Christmas I must be hearing so much about. Okay, the city-state of Anshan is on the top line of the border that we've established. So I'm probably going to invade that to get a port on the other side.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you mean by that?
I agree. I agree. You can take it.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
Should I specify?
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. Is it out of character for me to allow you to do things like? Should I be more hostile about it? No, I want Anshan. I should be having it.
Well, when you put it that way. Is it out of character for me to be nice? To give you things? Machu Picchu is looking kind of tender.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I'm not sure what it could mean.
This doesn't sound very much like nothing.
Maybe it's something.
It sounds like something.
I've got Daphne standing next to the microphone. She has things to say.
Wait, what do you offer us, Daphne?
She's giving a good little sniff right now. Oh, you're so silly. It's because she wants my lap. If there's a gentle rustling, it's because she's rubbing up against it with her silly little fotch. Let's see, do they have walls in that city-state? Crap, alright. This is the first time I really have to actually invest in weapons. Now, I'm not sure how I can get these soldiers over there. I think I have to send them through Hungary and also your territory while there's an active war going on and just trying to, like, squeeze past you.
Well, there's no war going on anymore.
You made peace?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good. Okay, so now I'm formally making an alliance with Hungary. And I have access to their borders. Still haven't discovered land in this giant ocean. It's getting to be a bit much now. Somber Town is very artistic and wealthy for a town with such an unforgiving name. You know, they have a harbor, they have 3 world wonders, they have a thriving textile and tie-dye industry, or, you know, whatever kind of dye. Oh, there it is! Giovanni has captured Buddha. We must resist their aggression.
How dare!
What's up?
Now hold on. Me keeping Buddha was part of the fucking peace agreement with Hungary.
This is true.
They're gonna turn on me about this?
I never said anything of the sort.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying they did.
Well, they don't know our deal. Oh, the deal you made with Hungary, right?
Yeah, the peace agreement I made with Hungary.
I see. I thought you meant like our arrangement. Oh, yeah. No, that's kind of bogus. Pay me so that I don't vote in favor of it.
What? Come on, man.
No, because that is part of our arrangement. I'm not gonna pass it. I don't think it's gonna get voted on at all if I don't participate. Yeah, I'll vote against it for some money.
So are we passing it, or are we?
Yeah, I'm not voting for it. No. Well, because that was the deal. You get Buddha.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to beef up the military. That would just be uncouth, I suppose. So now what are your plans? Are you going to relax?
Well, I'm gonna finish invading Venice, and then I'm probably gonna relax.
Okay, I get you.
Actually, what am I talking about? I probably have ocean travel now. I can go colonize shit with my ants.
With my ants. Now, is it true that they spread across... Well, they spread across bodies of water by, like, hugging each other, right? They do that floating thing?
Some species do.
Now, was that done on a large scale, like ocean-wide, or was that due to human migration?
I think it was due to human migration.
I see. Yeah, it's like, how do you deal with invasive species of ants? Like, they're goddamn everywhere. It's not like if you were to have, like, an invasive species of silverback gorillas. I feel like that's pretty easy to handle. I mean, not really, but there's only so many of them.
That would be so fucked up. Imagine that bullshit. Like, we already have so many like dramatic captive populations in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, if the captive population of gorillas in the United States got to such a degree that there was an invasive population.
Imagine it, like, outpopulated, like, the native African population. Like, they're still endangered, but they're thriving in the American Southwest.
In the fucking... out in the boonies, in the fucking... the Ozarks or whatever.
They really love these underground aquifers. They're doing great in the Great Plains.
There's plenty of grass. They're thriving.
To munch on. Now, do they eat grass too? Or is it that one wicked baboon species that I'm thinking of?
Both of them.
I didn't realize gorillas like grass. Oh, I found Germany.
Whoa.
We're gonna have to compete for the most Germanic nation, me and them. Oh, so my boat discovered land to the west of us. Finally. Oh, they're doing it again?
They're fucking doing it.
I declined. Okay, so this isn't about me, because I'm not going to vote in favor of this, because that goes against our deal. I have 336 diplomatic points. Let me see how much voting I can do on this. Okay, I'd be willing to spare 5 of my votes, which is like... Okay, so 40 diplomatic points would be 5 votes against them going to war with you.
Yeah.
Do you want to... What would you trade? Because otherwise I'm just not going to vote. And I'll leave it up to like you and the AI.
I'll pay you. I'll give you back your 70 gold.
Alright, that seems fair. Unless... I'm trying to think of what else I might want instead. I think 70 gold is fair. And I'll give you 5 votes in favor.
Yeah. Or no, against.
Well, yeah, in favor of you.
Yeah.
In favor of you getting invaded. Let's see how that goes. Because the only people that would vote on it are like Hungary and Brazil. I don't know if you've met Portugal yet.
I have not.
I got you. It's so weird just seeing like, oh, historical leaders from the 14th to the 19th century, the ant, and Santa.
And Santa.
Ooh, good stuff. Oh, Hungary only voted 1. That's funny. Have you sent the deal?
Yes.
Got you. Damn, Brazil is adamant about this Catholicism thing. Who knew?
You know, like once you've built a giant Jesus and put it on the mountain, you know, you can't really back away from it after that.
Of course, it would be kind of a hassle.
It would be inconvenient.
Like, I guess we could, mold him to look like Santa. It's too much. Forget it. Things are shaping up a bit in Christmas land. Got a little group of musket men heading towards that city. got like a full theological combat going on in Brazil. I think it's going pretty well. How's it going with Venice?
Venice has been captured.
Ooh, I see. You've got a hefty empire down here.
Perhaps.
All up in the snow. Discovering the mysterious land of Germany.
What's over there other than Germany?
Let me check that. I've only seen a little bit so far. There's a city-state, and I see 2 German cities. Yeah, I'm going from like the equator south first, because I think that's more where Germany is. So we were talking about the Wednesday dance earlier before.
Yeah.
Uh.
Yeah.
I went to a party in early 2023. This is like when, because the thing came out in like late 2022, and they had like a Wednesday kind of like goth like dance party, and it was cool. But they were like, and now we're gonna have the Wednesday dance competition, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Here. With this shit again.
And it was just like, it was just as cringe as you thought it would be. They were on like a raised platform in the center of the room. Just like all people like mimicking the dance as like everyone else kind of just watches. I'm like, I don't know, like I don't like dancing for like spectacle. I'm like, I just do it for me, But I get it, like, God, I hope they were having fun, because it just looked, off. Then they also started shooting fake blood out, which I didn't know would happen, and it, like, stained my shirt. They're like, oh, it washes right out, and it didn't. So they had to reimburse me for my shirt. It was like some H&M one, so it wasn't going to break the bank, but still, like, you gotta tell people about that. Christmas spirit is spreading nicely. Now, I don't know what this... Oh, go on.
This is good news. It would be a shame if something were to change that.
I'm not sure what this Jesus fellow was expecting, but he'll be sorely disappointed when Santa Claus comes to town. Oh, and I just discovered Jerusalem. That's where Santa was born, right? What are you doing currently?
I am sending my ants off into the ocean.
Oh, I see. Which direction?
They're heading east.
Oh, I get you. Are you, stabilizing the situation in Buddha?
I'm trying to.
I see. You might need an entertainment complex. You know, taking over Gior might contribute to that.
It would.
I suppose so. I don't know how it's disloyal. It's their capital. Like, I get it in principle, but also, like, there is no stronger force of influence than their capital city. If you own that, then they don't really have a leg to stand on. Okay, it seems like Germany is the only nation I've met here. I think the rest are city-states. I'm gonna send out... No, I should keep a boat here, just in case. Actually, I'm gonna explore a little bit of these waters, too. So I guess technically I'm gonna be at 2 wars, and neither one of them are with a major nation. Well, no, one of them is, but it's a religious war, so I'm not killing or conquering anything. Or I guess I'm killing missionaries, I'm killing the faith.
He's stamping out Catholicism.
In its infancy. I have to assume that they founded it from scratch, because I don't think it's anywhere else, and it seems like it's struggling. I've discovered coal, but I don't see any anywhere. This is ridiculous. Oh, there it is. It's in your territory. Have you researched coal yet?
Not yet.
I see. So you don't even know the gold mine you sit on. I might settle a city at the base of an active volcano just because there's coal.
Just for the gaffes of it.
Just to be silly. can't believe there's no coal in my territory. I'm fucking Santa Claus. Have you discovered anything yet?
Nothing yet.
I see. I'm especially interested in Anshan now because of its proximity to these coal deposits. There's at least 3 near it, and I need them to fund or to provide resource for these railroads I want to build. Ironically, I could use the railroads right now to invade Anshan, but I don't have the coal to build them. I also haven't discovered them yet. I'm sending in Christmas spirit apostles on like a manhunt to wipe out Catholic missionaries. It's dubious, is what it is.
Dubious.
They call me Scooby Dubious, the way I'm enforcing a single religion on all people.
Is that right? Yes?
I suppose it's not as charming when I say it out loud. Ooh, I think Jerusalem might be on my list too, because they have a coal deposit. I don't know, everything looks like an option because I have no coal right now. Everyone's next. Here, I think one more turn, then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Got you. I like this direction, though. I'm looking forward to taking over this continent slowly. I'm waiting to get another governor title so I can use it to... So one of them has the perk that they can make nearby cities disloyal if I don't own them. And I want to use it on this Brazilian city that's like right on my border.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
I have Romeo and Juliet now. Nice.
Yee.
God, I'm like completely replacing Catholicism. Like, they don't have any missionaries. I thought they had a few running around. They have nothing. I mean, I killed a few of them. I thought there were just more. Alright, so I think next time when we start up, I will officially start the invasion of Anshan, so that'll be interesting. I hope I can, like, maintain its loyalty even though it's, like, on the coast far away from me. And it's really hard to get, like, bombardiers up on the walls. Just because it's in such a tight space. It's surrounded by mountain ranges. I'm definitely gonna have to buy coal from somebody in the meantime. What about you? Where are you at?
Yeah, Buddha has rebelled from me, so now I need to go take it back.
More ants?
Unfortunately, more ants.
Here, we'll play this turn, and then when it hits 114, then we'll save it and quit.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I forgot to, so I think I said at some point in the last episode that I was going to show Delilah as an amoeba on screen. Just that picture that I found. So this is that. I'm showing it now. She's curled up very abstractly. She's just this round, silly shape. I figured I would show that before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Oh, she's delightful. Little delicatessen. Alright, turn 114. Let's just give it a quick save before we wrap up. Alright, and that has been episode 2. I feel like some progress has been made and we've got some good treaties down. And we had some good talks too.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, but thank you all for watching and stay groovy.
Stay groovy.